Vishnu cha Guhyavadibihi ya eka isho jagatatmanilaya sujatyavatyatti na tatra satchate Sava ayam. Oh my friend, oh Sakhi, Sakyanugita Satkatho, oh my friend, Anugitaha. Saha, he also, I am this. So the excellent pastimes, Anugita means described the excellent pastimes, Vedeshu, the Vedic literatures, Guhyeshu confidentially, Cha as also, Guhyavadibihi, by the confidential devotees, Yaha one who, Ekaha, one only, Ishaha, the supreme controller, Jagat, of the complete creation, Atma, super soul, Milaya, by manifestation of pastimes, Suchati creates, Apatyati also maintains, and annihilates, no never, Tattva there, Suchati becomes attached to it. So, my dear friends, oh dear friends, here is that very personality of Godhead whose attractive and confidential pastimes are described in the confidential parts of the Vedic literatures by his great devotees. It is he only who creates, maintains, annihilates the material world and yet remains unaffected. Now the ladies in Hastinapur, they are speaking among each other. They are saying he is the same person. Anugita Satkataho. Anugita means he is described. How is he described? Anu. Anu means following the footprints of the previous acharyas. In that way he is discussed. That means Anugitaha, he is discussed by the great devotees, by the confidential devotees, Guhyavadibihi. In the Vedas, we find the description of the pastimes of the Lord. Jagat Atma Leelayaha. So how is his Leela? Jagat, he is a super soul of the whole creation. His pastimes are so wonderful. He creates, he maintains, and he annihilates. In the previous verse, what was there? He can be experienced only by devotional service. That is how a person can purify his existence. He is experienced. That means his Leela is also sung by the great devotees only. Only by devotional service one can understand the pastimes of Krishna. It has been given. Okay. Adi Satwiki Mataji, did you appear for the exam?
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Yes, I did all 3 parts. Yes.
Jai. Those who appeared, they are very good. Very good.
Thank you, Mataji.
Those who did not appear, they are also very good. Why? They have to again appear. And if again they will appear.
Hare Krishna Mataji, you are saying very good. You will give very good marks also, na?
Yeah. Those who appear, they will get very good marks. Those who are not appeared, they are also going to get very good marks. Big zero. It starts from behind only. Na?
Oh.
Right. Because now we are going to end very fast. It's just 10, 11, 12 will be again another section. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 3 units are remaining. Okay, fast.
Okay, 24. Saba ayang sakya nugita satkata vede suguye sucha guhyavadibhihi ya eko isha jagadatma leelaya srijatya bhatyati natatra sajjate. Purport and translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Oh dear friends, here is that very personality of Godhead, whose attractive and confidential pastimes are described in the confidential parts of Vedic literature by his great devotees. It is he only who creates, maintains, and annihilates the material world and yet remains unaffected. Purport. As it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, all the Vedic literatures are glorifying the greatness of Lord Sri Krishna. Here, it is confirmed in the Bhagavatam also The Vedas are expanded by many branches and sub-branches by great devotees and empowered incarnations of Lord like Vyasa, Narada, Sukadeva, Goswami, the Kumaras, Kapila, Prahlada, Janaka, Bali, and Yamaraja. But in the Srimad Bhagavatam, especially, the confidential parts of his activities are described by the confidential devotee Sukadeva Goswami. In the Vedanta Sutra or Upanishad, there is only a hint of the confidential parts of his pastimes. In such Vedic literatures as the Upanishads, the Lord has expressively been distinguished from the mundane conception of his existence. His identity being fully spiritual, his form, name, quality, and paraphernalia, etc., have been elaborately distinguished from matter, and therefore he is sometimes misunderstood by less intelligent persons as impersonal. But factually, he is Supreme Person, Bhagwan, and he is partially represented as Paramatma or impersonal Brahman. Thank you very much, Mataji.
यदा हि धर्मेण तमोधियो नृपा जीवन्ति तत्रैष हि सत्त्वतः किल धत्ते भगं सत्त्वमृतं दयां वयशो भवाय रूपाणि दधत्युगे युगे यदा हि धर्मेण तमोधियो नृपाः जीवन्ति तत्रैष हि सत्त्वतः किल धत्ते भगं सत्यमृतं दयां यशो भवाय रूपाणि दधद्युगे युगे yada whenever he assuredly adharmena against the principles of God's will tamadiya persons in the lowest modes of nature nripaha kings and administrators jivanti live like animals tatra thereupon esha he certainly he only sattvatah transcendental kila certainly dhatte is manifested bhagam supreme power satyam truth yutam positiveness dayam mercy yashaha wonderful activities bhavaya for the maintenance rupani various forms dadat manifested yuge different periods and ages whenever there are kings and administrators living like animals in the lowest modes of existence the Lord in his transcendental form manifests his supreme power the truth positive shows special mercy to the faithful performs wonderful activities and manifests various transcendental forms as is necessary in different periods and ages. So we have yada yada dharmasya glarirabhavati bharata dharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. So that has been given. So when they start living like animals, that means adharma is prevalent, their Lord has to appear. His appearance is also a special mercy. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Those two verses are put in this verse. Now just see in Bhagavad Gita what Krishna speaks, that these ladies in Hastinapur, they are speaking. So such transcendental knowledge they have. Krishna says, Paritranaya sadhunam. What Krishna spoke to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, same these ladies are also saying yuge yuge bhavaya rupani dadat yuge yuge. So that is why the prayers of these ladies of Hastinapur is more wonderful than the official prayers in the Vedas. Krishna likes these prayers, very innocent prayers and wonderful prayers. Wherever people start living like animals, that is, they have given up the human responsibility. Human life is a great responsibility. Animalistic life is unrestricted sense enjoyment. What is the difference between an animal and a man and a human? Animal means unrestricted sense enjoyment. A human, he has a responsibility. But if he starts behaving like animal, that means adharma is prevalent. Krishna has to come to establish dharma. Dharma is based on 4 principles: purity, austerity, truthfulness, and compassion. And then again, the four ways to establish dharma, that is Shotavya, Kirtavyascha, Dheya, Pujaschcha. These are the four ways. Hearing about Lord, speaking about Lord, meditating on Him, and worshipping Him. In this way, we can establish dharma. Okay, dharmastu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Wherever dharma is there, Krishna is present. And wherever Krishna is there, four principles are present. Okay, Gajendra Sutta Prabhu, read.
Hare Krishna. यदा हि अधर्मेण तमोध्योऽनृतः जीवन्ति तत्र हि सत्प्रथा कीलः दाते भागं सत्यं कृतं धयाम्यशुः भवया रूपाणि दधा युगे युगे. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. Whenever there are kings and administrators living like animals in the lowest modes of existence, the Lord in his transcendental form manifests his supreme power, the true positive, show special mercy to the faithful, performs wonderful activities and manifests various transcendental forms as is necessary in different periods and ages. Purport. As mentioned above, the cosmic creation is the property of the Supreme Lord. That is the basic philosophy of Ishwar mission. Everything is the property of the Supreme Being. No one should encroach upon the property of the Supreme Lord. One should accept only that is kindly awarded by Him. Therefore, the health or any other planet or universe is the absolute property of the Lord. The living beings are certainly His parts and parcel or son, and thus every one of them has a right to live at the mercy of the Lord to execute His prescribed work. No one therefore can encroach upon the right of another individual man or animal without being so sanctioned by the Lord. The king or the administrator is the representative of the Lord to look after the management of the Lord's will. He must therefore be recognized person like Maharaj, Yudhishthir or Parikshit. Such kings have full responsibility and knowledge from authorities about the administration of the world. But at times, due to the influence of the ignorance mode of material nature, Tamoguna, the lowest of the material modes, king and administrator, come into power without knowledge and responsibility. And such foolish administrators like live like animals for interest. The result is that the whole atmosphere becomes surged with anarchy and vicious elements, nepotism, bribery, cheating, aggression, and therefore famine, epidemic, war, and similar other disturbing features becomes prominent in human society. And the devotees of the Lord are the faithful or persecuted by all means. All these symptoms indicate the time of an incarnation of the Lord to re-establish the principle of religion and to vanquish from the maladministrator. This is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. The Lord then appears in the transcendental form without any king of material qualities. He descends just to keep the state of his incarnation in normal condition. The normal condition is that the Lord has provided each and every planet with all the needs of the native living being. They can happily live and execute their residence predestined occupation to attain salvation at the hand, following the rules and regulation mentioned in the revealed scriptures. The material world is created to satisfy the needs of the Nitya world, or if everlasting conditioned soul, just as naughty boys are provided with playing parents. Otherwise, there was no need to the material world. But when they become intoxicated with the power of material science to exploit the resource unlawfully without the sanction of the Lord, and that also only for sense gratification. There is necessity of the Lord incarnation to chastise the rebellious and to protect the faithful. When he reasons, he exhibits superhuman acts just to prove his supreme right and materialist like Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, and Kamsa, all sufficiently punished. He acts in a manner which no one can imitate. For example, The Lord, when he appeared as Rama, reached the Indian Ocean. When he appeared as Krishna, from his very childhood, he showed superhuman activities by killing Putana, Agasura, Sakatasura, Kaliya, etc. And then his material uncle Kamsa. When he was at Dwarka, he married 16,108 queens, and all of them were blessed with a sufficient number of children. The sum total of his personal family members amounted to about 1 lakh, popularly known as Yaduvamsa. And again, during his lifetime, he managed to vanquish them all. He is famous as the Govardhan Dhari. Hari managed Hari because he lived at the age of only 7, the hill known as Govardhana. The Lord killed many undesirable kings in his time, and as a Satriya, he fought Chibal proudly. He is famous as Ashamurdava, unparalleled. No
Unparalleled.
one is equal, unparalleled. No one is equal to or greater than him. Hare Krishna.
अहो अलम शलाख्यतमं यदोकुलम् अहो अलम पुण्यतमं मधुर्वदनमनम् यदेश पुंसां वृषभश्रियपतिः स्वजन्मना शङ्खचक्रमेण चक्रमणेन चाञ्चति अहो अलम शलाघ्यतमं यदुकुलम् अहो अलम पुण्यतमं मधुर्वनम् यदेश पुंसां वृषभश्रियपतिः स्वजन्मना चक्रमणेन चाञ्चति. So beautiful verses. Aho alam aho. Shlagyatamam, supremely glorified. Yado. He is supremely glorified. How? His kula, Yadu kula, is supremely glorified. Why? And how his land also is supremely glorified. Aho, punyatamam madhuvanam. The land of Mathura is also Madhuvan. It is also supremely glorified. Why? Because this Pumsam, Rushabha, this leader of the living entities, who is the husband of goddess of fortune, it is his birthplace. Chankramanena Chanchati. He has crawled in his childhood. In Mathura, he has crawled. And his family is also so wonderful. So what a glorious place is Mathura. What a glorious dynasty is the Yadu dynasty. So in fact, they are saying, we are not so fortunate. They are fortunate. Because Yadu Vamsha, Yadu dynasty is glorified since Lord has appeared there. Here Lord has only visited us and now is going to go back. But there Lord has appeared, it is his birthplace. And they are his family members. Indirectly they want to say in what way we are related. So we are not so glorious, but they are all very glorious. Though we also love Krishna, but somehow they are his family people. And indirectly, you see the ladies, they taunt, isn't it? So now the taunt is going on. What to do? We cannot have a hold on you. But Yadu people can have hold on you because they are family members. We are not family members. So we love you, but we don't have a hold on you. Okay, this very beautiful verse. Okay. Ashoka Sallani Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thanks for the service. Aho alam shilaghe tamam yado kulam. Aho alam punya tamam madhur vanam. Yad esha pumsam rishabha shriyah pati swajanmana chakramanena chanchati. Chanchati. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Oh, how supremely glorified is the dynasty of King Yadu, and how virtuous is the land of Mathura, where the supreme lord of all living beings, the husband of the goddess of fortune, has taken his birth and wandered in his childhood. Purport. In the Bhagavad Gita, the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, has expressively given a description of his transcendental appearance, disappearance, and activities. The Lord appears in a particular family or place by his inconceivable potency. He does not take his birth as a conditioned soul, quits his body, and accepts another body. His birth is like the appearance and disappearance of the sun. The sun arises at the eastern horizon, but that does not mean that the eastern horizon is the parent of the sun. The sun is existent in every part of the solar system, but he becomes visible at a scheduled time and so also becomes invisible at another scheduled time. Similarly, Lord appears in this universe like the sun and again leaves our sight at another time. He exists at all times and at every place, but by his causeless mercy, when he appears before us, we take it for granted that he has taken his birth. Anyone who can understand this truth in terms of the statements of revealed scriptures certainly becomes liberated just after quitting the present body. Liberation of obtainable Liberation is obtainable after many births and after great endeavor in patience and perseverance, in knowledge and renunciation. But simply by knowing in truth about the Lord's transcendental births and activities, one can get liberation at once. That is the verdict of the Bhagavad Gita. But those who are in the darkness of ignorance conclude that the Lord's birth and activities in the material world are similar to those of the ordinary living being. Such imperfect conclusions cannot give anyone liberation. His birth, therefore, in the family of King Yadu as the son of King Vasudeva and his transfer into family of Nanda Maharaj in the land Mathura are all transcendental arrangements made by the internal potency of the Lord. The fortunes of the Yadu dynasty and that of the inhabitants of land of Mathura cannot be materially estimated. If simply by knowing the transcendental nature of the birth and activities of Lord, one can get liberation easily, we can just imagine what is in store for those who actually enjoyed the company of the Lord in person as a family member or as a neighbor. All those who were fortunate enough to associate with the Lord, the husband of the goddess of fortune, certainly obtained something more than what is known as liberation. Therefore, rightly, the dynasty and the land are both ever glorious by the grace of the Lord. Thank you,
So
Mataji.
the
Hare
dynasty and the
Krishna.
land both are glorious by the grace of Lord.
By the grace of
Aho bata swar yashastitar sas Aho bata swar yashasastiraskari kuchas kucha kushasthali punya yashaskari bhuvaha पश्यन्ति नित्यं यदनुग्रहेशितं स्मितावलोकं स्वपतिं स्मयत् प्रजाः. You will find all these verses sung in Bhagavad Pratnavali. I have done this verse in that. So you can take the Bhagavad Pratnavali and try to memorize the verses. There are 96 prayers given by all the devotees. So in this, Sanjalpa Gita comes. Aho bata swari yashastirastari kushasthali punya yashaskari bhuva pashyanti nityam yadanugraheshitam smitavalokam swapatim smayat prajaha. Aho bata, how wonderful this is. Swayashaha, the glories of the Lord, the glories of the heavenly planets. Tiraskari, that which defeats Swayashaha, that which defeats Kushasthali, Dwarka, Punyavarchu, Yashaskari, famous, Bhuva, the planet Earth, Pashyanti, see, Nityam, constantly, yet that which Anugraha Ishitam, to bestow benediction, Smita Avalokam, glance with the favor of sweet smiling, Swapatim, unto the soul of the living being Krishna, Sma used to, Yat Prajaha, the inhabitants of the place. So, Ahobatam, yes, it's so wonderful that Dwarka has defeated the glories of heavenly planets and has enhanced the celebrity of the earth. And the Dwarka Vasis are always seeing the soul of the living beings, Krishna, in his loving feature. He glances at them, Smita Avalokam, and then he glances at them, favors them with wonderful smile. Smita Avalokam. Swapati, Krishna. Krishna not only glances at them, but also favors them with a nice, wonderful smile. So the inhabitants of the place, they are so fortunate to see Krishna every day. They have glorified Mathura and Yadu dynasty because Krishna is born there. Now they are glorifying the Dwarka Vasis. Every day they are seeing them. And Krishna is also looking at them and smiling. We are looking at Krishna, but Krishna is not looking at us. You can indirectly say that also. Why here it has been told? Dwarka Vasis, every day they look at Krishna. Krishna looks at them, smiles at them. Why each other they are speaking this? That means Krishna is not looking at us. We are trying to look at him. Krishna is not looking at us. Even if he looks also, he will smile one time and go. But that every day Krishna is looking at them. Every day Krishna is smiling. How wonderful is Dwarka. It is more glorious than Swargaloka. And in this way, it has become the celebrity of the earth. The whole place is very glorious. So Krishna is favoring.
It was Hastinapur, if I am not wrong. He is departing from Hastinapur to Dwarka. So he is smiling at the ladies of Hastinapur, not Dwarka.
Here they are speaking. These ladies of the Hastinapur, they are speaking when he is going. Sanjalpa is between the ladies of Hastinapur when they are seeing Krishna going, and they are glorifying the Mathura Vasis, the Dwarka Vasis. In this way, they are talking among each other. Because it is based on Krishna, that is why it is known as Sanjalpa. It's not Prajalpa. Okay. Krishna Priya, read. Krishna Priya. Okay, Kusum, read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Aho Bataswar Yashasthiraskari Kushasthali Punya Yashashkari Bhuvaha Pashyanti Nityam Yad Anugrahesitam Smitavalokam Swapatim Sma Yad Prajaha. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: undoubtedly, it is wonderful that Dwarka has defeated the glories of the heavenly planets and has enhanced the celebrity of the earth. The inhabitants of Dwarka are always seeing the soul of all living beings, Krishna, in his loving feature. He glances at them and favors them with sweet smiles. Purport: the heavenly planets are inhabited by demigods like Indra, Chandra, Varuna, and Vayu, and the pious souls reach there after performance of many virtuous acts on earth. Modern scientists agree that the timing arrangement in higher planetary systems is different from that of the earth. Thus, it is understood from the revealed scriptures that the duration of life there is 10,000 years by our calculation. 6 months on earth is equal to 1 day on the heavenly planets. Facilities of enjoyment are also similarly enhanced, and the beauty of the inhabitants is legendary. Common men on the earth are very much fond of reaching the heavenly planets because they have heard that comforts of life are far greater there than on the earth. They are now trying to reach the moon by spacecraft. Considering all this, the heavenly planets are more celebrated than the earth. but the celebrity of earth has defeated that of the heavenly planets because of Dwarka, where Lord Krishna reigned as king. Three places, namely Vrindavana, Mathura, and Dwarka, are more important than the famous planets within the universe. These places are perpetually sanctified because whenever the Lord descends on earth, he displays his transcendental activities, particularly in these three places. They are perpetually the holy lands of the Lord, and the inhabitants still take advantage of the holy places, even though the Lord is now out of their sight. The Lord is the soul of all living beings, and he desires always to have all the living beings in their Swarupa, in their constitutional position, to participate in transcendental life in his association. His attractive feature and sweet smiles go deep into the heart of everyone, and once it is so done, the living being is admitted into the kingdom of God from which no one returns. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. The heavenly planets may be very famous for offering better facilities of material enjoyment, but as we learn from the Bhagavad Gita 9.20 to 21, one has to come back again to the earth planet as soon as the acquired virtue is finished. Dwarka is certainly more important than the heavenly planets because whoever has been favored with the smiling glance of the Lord shall never come back again to this rotten earth, which is certified by the Lord Himself as a place of misery. Not only this earth, but also all the planets of the universes are places of misery because in none of the planets within the universe is there eternal life, eternal bliss, and eternal knowledge. Any person engaged in the devotion service of the Lord is recommended to live in one of the above mentioned three places, namely Dwarka, Mathura, or Vrindavana, because devotional service in these three places is magnified. Those who go there to follow the principles of terms in terms of instructions imparted in the revealed scriptures surely achieve the same result as obtained during the presence of Lord Sri Krishna. His abode and he himself are identical, and a pure devotee under the guidance of another experienced devotee can obtain all the results even at present. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Next verse. Nunam 26, 26, 27, 28, 1. Nunam vratasnana hutadineshwara. Nunam vratasnana hutadineshwara. Samarchito yasya gruhita panibihi. Pibanti ya sakya dharavrutam muhu. Brajastriya sammuhu sammamuhu yadashayaha. Nunam vratasnana hutadineshwarah. Samarchito yasya gruhita panibihi. Pibanti yaha sakya dharamrutam muhu. Brajastriha sammuhu yadashayaha. Nunam, certainly the previous birth, Vrata vow, Snana bath, Puta, sacrifice in the fire, Adinaha, by all these, Ishwar, the personality of Godhead, Samarchitaha, being worshipped. He certainly, Asya, his, Gruhita Panivihi, by the married wives, Pibanti, religious, Yaha, those who, Sakhi, O friend, Adhara Amritam, the nectar from his lips, Muhu, again, Vajastriya, damsels of Vrajabhumi, some Mumuhu, often fainted, Yadashaya, expecting to be favored in that way. Oh friend, they're talking to each other. Oh friends, just think of his wives, whose hands he has accepted. How they must have undergone woes, bars, fire sacrifices, and perfect worship of the Lord of the universe. To constantly relish now the nectar from his lips by kissing. The damsels of Vrajabhumi would often faint just by expecting such favors. So in Gopi Geet also, this has been glorified. But how fortunate are the queens of Dwarika, the Lakshmi. Lakshmi is so fortunate. Krishna places his hand on her head, on her breast, and yes, she is so fortunate. She constantly drinks the nectar from his lips. So now damsels of Brajabhumi, they faint just by expecting such favor. They're expecting, oh Lord, when will you keep your hand on our head? In this way, they are now these ladies are also speaking the fortune of the queens of Dwarika. Because Krishna is going to go to Dwarka now. What wars they must have done? What perfect worship they would have done? How many yajnas they would have done? And please Krishna to marry him. They are his wives, and every day they are with him. And they are getting the adhara amrutam. Muhu means constantly. Okay. Who will read? Narayana read.
May I read?
Yes, yes.
नूनं व्रतस्नानहुतादिनेश्वरः समर्चितो यस्य गृहीतपाणिभिः पिबन्ति या सख्यधरामृतं मुहुः व्रजस्त्रियः सम्मुहुर्यदार्चयः. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O friends, just think of his wives, whose hands he has accepted. How they must have undergone vows, baths, fire sacrifices, and perfect worship of the Lord of the universe to constantly relish now the nectar from his lips by kissing. The damsels of Rajabhumi would often faint just by expecting such favors. Purport. Religious rites prescribed in the scriptures are meant to purify the mundane qualities of the conditioned souls to enable them to be gradually promoted to the stage of rendering transcendental service unto the Supreme Lord. Attainment of this stage of pure spiritual life is the highest perfection, and this stage is called Swarupa, or the factual identity of the living being. Liberation means renovation of the stage of Swarupa. In that perfect stage of Swarupa, the living being is established in 5 phases of loving service, one of which is the stage of Madhurya Rasa, or the humor of conjugal love. The Lord is always perfect in himself, and thus he has no hankering for himself. He, however, becomes a master, a friend, a son, or a husband to fulfill the intense love of the devotees concerned. Herein, 2 classes of devotees of the Lord are mentioned in the stage of conjugal love. One is Swakiya and the other is Parakiya. Both of them are in conjugal love with the personality of Godhead Krishna. The queens at Dwarka were Swakiya, or duly married wives, but the damsels of Braja were young friends of the Lord while he was unmarried. The Lord stayed at Vrindavan till the age of 16, and his friendly relations with the neighboring girls were in terms of Parakiya. These girls, as well as the queens, underwent severe penances by taking vows, bathing, and offering sacrifices in the fire, as prescribed in the scriptures. The rites, as they are not an end in themselves, nor are fruitive action, culture of knowledge, or perfection and mystic powers ends in themselves. They are all means to attain to the highest stage of Swarupa to render constitutional transcendental service to the Lord. Each and every living being has his individual position in one of the above mentioned 5 different kinds of reciprocating means with the Lord. And in one's pure spiritual form of Swarupa, the relation becomes manifest without mundane affinity. The kissing of the Lord, either by his wives or his young girlfriends who aspired to have the Lord as their fiancé, is not of any mundane, perverted quality. Had such things been mundane, a liberated soul like Sukadev would not have taken the trouble to relish them, nor would Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu have been inclined to participate in those subjects after renouncing worldly life. The stage is earned after many lives of penance. Hare Krishna.
या वीरशुल्केन वृता स्वयंवरे प्रमथ्य चैद्यं प्रमुखान् हि सुष्मिणः प्रद्युम्न साम्बां वसुतादयो परा याश्चाहुता भौमवधे सहस्रशः. What a prowess, ya Viryaha. Shulkena Rta. Shulkena Rta means by payment of the price. Rta means taking away by force. Where? From the Swayamvar itself. Whom he took away by force. Rukmini, Satyabhama, Jamvati, he took by force. Chaitya Raja, Shishupal, Pramukha, headed by. So in this way, he defeated many powerful kings. Sushminaha, very powerful kings. So Pradyumna, Sambha, Amba, they were all the children of these ladies. So what a fortune. Fortunate are the women. That is, fortunate are these ladies, Rukmini, Satyabhama, Jambati, whom Krishna forcibly took from the Swayamvara ceremonies. And also there were similarly Bhaumavadhe, by killing Bhaumasur, he forcibly took away from him thousands of his assistants. 16,100 were taken from Bhaumasur. Already 8 were there. So all of these ladies are very, very glorious because Krishna went and fought with the impious kings and released these ladies from his clutches, Bhaumasur. And also Krishna went to Vidarbha, took away, forcibly brought Rukmini from his brother. So in this way, Satyabhama, Jambati, everybody were won by Krishna. And these are his children, Pradyumna, Samba, Amba. Okay. Krishna Priya Mataji, are you free? If not, Vimala, you do. I think the connectivity is not there. You do.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yavirya Shulkena Tasvayambare Pramathya Chaidya Pramukhanahi Shushmaniha Pradimna Sambamba Sutadayo Para Yasha Bhaumavadhe Sahasrashaha. Translation. The children of these ladies are Pradyumna, Samba, Amba, etc. Ladies like Rukmini, Satyabhama and Jambavati were forcibly taken away by him from their Swayamvar ceremonies after he defeated many powerful kings headed by Shishupala. And other ladies were also forcibly taken away by him after he killed Bhaumasur and thousands of his assistants. All of these ladies are glorious. Purport. Exceptionally qualified daughters of powerful kings were allowed to make a choice of their own bridegrooms in open competition, and such ceremonies were called Swayamvar or selection of the bridegroom. Because the Swayamvar was an open competition between the rival and valiant princes, such princes were invited by the father of the princess, and usually there were regular fights between the invited princely order in a sporting spirit. But it so happened that sometimes the belligerent princes were killed in such marriage fighting, and the victorious prince was offered the trophy princess for whom so many princes died. Rukmini, the principal queen of Lord Krishna, was the daughter of the king of Vidarbha, who wished that his qualified and beautiful daughter be given away to Lord Krishna. But her eldest brother wanted her to be given away to King Shishupala, who happened to be a cousin of Krishna. So there was open competition, and as usual, Lord Krishna emerged successful, and after harassing Shishupal and other princes by his unrivaled powers, Rukmini had 10 sons, like Pradyumna. There were other queens also taken away by the Lord Krishna in a similar way. Full description of this beautiful booty of Lord Krishna will be given in the 10th canto. There were 16,100 beautiful girls who were daughters of many kings and were forcibly stolen by Bhaumasur, who kept them captive for his carnal desire. These girls prayed piteously to Lord Krishna for their deliverance, and the merciful Lord, called by their fervent prayer, released them all by the fighting and killing Bhaumasura. All these captive princes were then accepted by the Lord as his wives, although, in the estimation of society, they were all fallen girls. The all-powerful Lord Krishna accepted the humble prayers of these girls and married them with the adoration of queens. So altogether, Lord Krishna had 16,108 queens at Dwarka, and in each of them he begot 10 children. All these children grew up, and each had as many children as the father. The aggregate of the family numbered in the millions. Hare Krishna.
So 8 were the principal queens, and afterwards 16,100 beautiful girls. And forcibly stolen by Bhauma. They were forcibly stolen by Bhaumasura. Now Krishna went and released them, brought them, married them. So in this way, these children grew up. So many children were because every queen had 10 children. That means 1,60,000. 61,080 children. Okay. So the aggregate of the family numbered in millions. Okay. Eta param stritvam etat param stritvam apastapeshalam nirasta shaucham batasadu kurvate yasam gruhat pushkaralochana pati najatva paitya riti sprishan. Eta, all these women, now they are discussing all these women. Highest womanhood, they have attained the highest womanhood. Apatapeshalam, despite their being without individuality. Nirasta shaucham, and without purity. Then, without individuality and without purity, but still they are glorified. Then, their husband, the lotus-eyed personality of Godhead, never left them alone at home on top of that. That means he is leaving us and going. But these fortunate women, they were never left alone. He always pleased their hearts by making valuable presentations. On top of that, he is bringing presents also. Every woman likes, no? If the husband goes out and brings some present. But now these women are discussing, we also love Krishna so much. But Krishna is leaving us and going. Leaving us what? Krishna never brings us anything. No presents, no gifts, because we are not related to him. Same thing, gopis also speak. Ashulka dasika. We are such dasis who are unpaid dasis. We serve so much, we love him so much. But the queens are more fortunate because they come under the category of his family members. Now what are we? We are just Ashulka dasika, who values us. Though we love more than his queens, we care him more than them. But still, it is also said that Swakiya Bhavarasa and Parakiya Bhavarasa. Parakiya Bhavarasa is more stronger than Swakiya Bhavarasa in the spiritual world. In the material world, it is the most degrading rasa. In the spiritual world, Parakiya Bhavarasa is more stronger. Radharani's love for Krishna is more stronger. In fact, Radharani is the source for all the queens of Dwarika. All the queens put together also cannot become one Radharani. That is the power of Srimati Radharani, who is the source of all the queens of Dwarika. But still, all the gopis, they discuss, we are just Ashulka Dasika. Okay. Jumu read.
एता परं कृत्वम् अपाष्टपेशलं निरस्तशौचं बत साधु कुर्वते यासां गृहात् पुष्करलोचनः पति नाजात्वपैत्याहृति
No, it's not na. न जात्वपैत्यादितिः
हृदि स्पृशन्. Translation: all these women auspiciously glorified their lives despite their being without individuality and without purity. Their husband, the lotus eyed personality of Godhead, never left them alone at home. He always pleased their hearts by making valuable presentations. Purport: the devotees of the Lord are purified souls. As soon as the devotees surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord sincerely, the Lord accepts them, and thus the devotees at once become free from all material contaminations. Such devotees are above the three modes of material nature. There is no bodily disqualification of a devotee, just as there is no qualitative difference between the Ganga water and the filthy drain water when they are amalgamated. Women, merchants, and laborers are not very intelligent, and thus it is very difficult for them to understand the signs of God or to be engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. They are more materialistic, and less than them are the Kiratas, Hunas, Andhras, Pulindas, Pulkashas, Abhiras, Kankas, Yavanas, Khashas, etc. But all of them can be delivered if they are properly engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. By engagement in the service of the Lord, the designative disqualifications are removed, and as pure souls, they become eligible to enter into the kingdom of God. The fallen girls, under the clutches of Bhaumasura, sincerely prayed to Lord Sri Krishna for their deliverance, and their sincerity of purpose made them at once pure by virtue of devotion. The Lord therefore accepted them as his wives, and thus their lives became glorified. Such auspicious glorification was still more glorified when the Lord played with them as the most devoted husband. The Lord used to live with his 16,108 wives constantly. He expanded himself into 16,108 plenary portions, and each and every one of them was the Lord himself without deviation from the original personality. The Shruti mantra affirms that the Lord can expand himself into many. As husband of so many wives, he pleased them all with presentations, even at a costly endeavor. He brought the Parijat plant from heaven and implanted it at the palace of Satyabhama, one of the principal queens. If therefore anyone desires that the Lord to become one's husband, the Lord fulfills such desires in full.
Okay. So if anyone desires Lord shall become one's husband, then Lord fulfills that desire. Okay, next. Evam pita kadantinam sagira purayoshitam nidikshana nidikshane nandan sas निरीक्षणेनाभिनन्दन् सस्मितेन यौ हरिः एवं विधा कदन्तिनां सगिरपुरयोषितां निरीक्षणेनाभिनन्दन् सस्मितेन ययौ हरिः. So in this way the ladies of capital Hastinapur were greeting him and talking in this way. Evam vidha gadantinam. Gadantinam means they were praying and talking about him. So Purayoshitam, the ladies of this capital, they were talking. Vidikshalena. Then Lord smiling, accepted their good greetings. And then smiling face, Kitena, he departed. Casting the grace of his glance over them, he departed from the city. Till now they were going on comparing. The Lord looked at them, gave a nice, wonderful smile, and then left. Okay. Nowadays, going to another city is nothing. It's not departure, because from there you are connected in in your mobiles. But those time leaving and going is like too much. How a person will be connected. Now you don't feel that distance. So anywhere you can connect yourself in video calling. You feel that person very close to you. And now Krishna is leaving Hastinapur and going to Dwarka. When will he come back again? Now Krishna is looking at them and satisfying them with this wonderful smile. Now just see the impact what must be put, the smile of Krishna, which became their source of existence. Or Krishna leaves and goes, actually prana has gone. But which prana is maintaining them? That wonderful smile. And which prana is maintaining the gopis? That promise. I'm going to come back. Those words. So Krishna is maintaining the gopis of Vrindavan with his promise. Krishna maintained the ladies of the Hastinapur with his sweet, wonderful glance. Okay. Ashokanija Prabhu, please read 31st verse.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
This is the last verse for today.
Evam vidha gadanti nam sa gira puryoshitam nirakshena abhinandana sasmitena yo hari. While the ladies of the capital Hastinapur were greeting him and talking in this way, the Lord, smiling, accepted their good greetings and casting the glance of his glance over them, he departed from the city.
Okay. Any questions you can ask?
Mataji, one small clarification. Shloka number 25, translation. First time I am seeing these two words, truth, positive. Always we have heard absolute truth. Is there any difference or it is in the same tense? Truth, positive. It is in translation of Shloka 25. Because absolute truth is always positive. So is there any significance of adding the word positive specifically?
Satyam. Satyam, how is the truth? Rutam. Positive. That means he keeps the words of his devotees. That is one thing. His approach is positive. When he tells to speak lie, that is also positive. That has a positive impact. One is absolute truth. One is positive. Positive means it has a positive impact. His speech has a positive impact on the people. That is why Satyam, his truth also, positiveness. Both are there. And why it has been added here in this verse? Because when he's going to come and establish dharma, that means what he speaks, people has to hear. Positively, they have to hear. Or positive, in a positive way, he has established everything. Or you can say principles of dharma are always positive. There is no negativity in that.
Okay, it can be interpreted.
You can go on giving so many purposes for that.
But
learn to take a word like this, learn to take a word, go on giving some purpose. That becomes an bhashya, you know that? Commentary.
Mataji, this truth, positive and absolute truth, can we take them on the same footing, means same meaning?
Absolute means there is nothing beyond it. When you say positive, it refers to positive impact on a person.
Adjective, okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, in verse 30, it says, 30, it says, there, just as there is no qualitative difference between the Ganga water and the filthy drain water when they are amalgamated. Mataji, can you please expand this and explain this? There's some.
What we have studied in Nectar of Instructions. Dushtei sabhava jayate rupajasya doshe na prakrutatamiha bhakta janasya pashe gangambasam nakalu budbudafena panke brahma dravata pakachati nirdharmaihi. So even if The filthy water is put in Ganga. Ganga is always pure. Ganga can purify all the sins. When sinners go and take bath, they are depositing the sins. The sins are more worse than the chemicals which is coming out of the factories and which goes in Ganga. The sins are more dangerous, but Ganga has the power to purify those sins.
Okay. But Mataji, when it says there is no difference, no qualitative difference between
Now
filthy
there is no
water
quality.
and
Now there is no quality because it has come with Ganga. It has become Ganga now.
it has become Ganga. पर उसका उल्टा भी तो समझ सकते हैं कि Ganga's water has become amalgamated.
Ganga
No?
teri Ram teri Ganga Maili is a wrong understanding.
Wrong
Ganga
answer.
can never become Maili because Ganga comes from the lotus feet of Lord. Ganga is very pure to purify others.
Yes.
Ganga can never become filthy.
Can we say it is divine?
That
It is
is
not a
why
question of purity.
it is pure.
Okay.
It is divine, that is why it is pure.
Okay.
It is pure, so it is divine.
Okay.
You cannot separate both the words.
Okay.
That is why it is said, never see the outward appearance of a sadhu.
Okay.
That is where it is compared. You don't see the outward appearance of Ganga. Outwardly, it may look like bubbles are there, kacharas are put. But Ganga is always pure.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I've got two things. So that Sanjalpa Gita, they start at 25 number and then
21.
finish
21.
21 or 21 to
Oh, why
30.
you kidding?
21 to 30.
21 to 30.
So 20, 30. And then I've got another question here. I mean, like, I'm confused about this. These 4 pillars of dharma, like purity, austerity, how they relate to eating, sleeping, mating, defending?
Eating, sleeping, mating, defending their activities now.
But they are
What it has
related.
to- Well,
They are.
take one activity, eating.
Hmm.
Eating can be impure also.
Yes.
Sleeping can be impure also. They are activities. Now, when we are saying principles, these activities should fit in that principles. Don't compare that. Activities should fit in that principles. Eating, mating, sleeping, defending, naturally, they are the activities.
Yeah.
How much we are following that principles while performing these activities, that matters.
I think somewhere, Mataji,
Like sleeping. People mate while sleeping. Is it kama viruddha or kama dharma viruddha, or it is establishing dharma? Okay.
Dependability.
It
But
should
I
be
hear,
based on this. Yeah, what you heard.
but I heard somewhere that like purity is directly like related to one of them, eating, sleeping.
Activity, principles. How can you just directly say principle means this activity? You understood or not? Like take one activity of eating. It should have these principles, na? Compassion should be there. Purity should be there. Compassion means non-violence. Then you should have purity should be there. Austerity should be there while eating. You cannot go on eating. Truthfulness also should be there while eating. No, so many things. The principles, they understand. This is principle.
Okay, they can be related to all of them.
All of them, defending, whatever. You relate, na? You relate. What all can come, how we can do that. Like defending, I'm protecting or taking protection.
Mhm.
Taking protection. I can take protection from a terrorist also, no? They're also protected. But
Right.
is it coming, it is conducive to that principle? Find out.
Okay, Mataji.
Hmm.
Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, any other doubt? Stop here.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
Kimatas, Hunas, Andhras, Purindas. What is all this?
They are all tribal communities who were performing all type of illicit activities. Undra, Purindra, Andhra. Situated in different parts of the earth. Okay. Passing to the Patitanam Pavani.